In secret, hidden tunnels beneath the surface of the crucible, a lich and a Rajasaurus meet. The lich has an offer. Will Fabum succumb to the offer, or can she resist? And whose side is anyone really on? Hello, and welcome back to Sphere Hoppers. I am your host and storyteller, Royce Rosewood. My goodness, what an episode the last one was. We had one of our three teams running loose in one of the cities of the Sanctum, but despite some help, they succumbed to a trap that rooted out the underbelly elements of the Sanctum and chose to be exiled rather than face further punishment, but were unable to complete the object of their quest, retrieving the Gleaming Shield. One of our three parties has totally failed their quest, so I'm not sure what that means for the future of everything. But unbeknownst to them, Demon Team was heading underneath the ground. Immediately, Fabum Rajasaurus was separated from the rest of the party. They encountered a new ally, Thorasa, the little mushroom elf, who was there waiting for them to help in a battle with a demon. The Wolverine sacrificed itself to fight the demon and keep them off so the rest of the party could escape. But unbeknownst to them, Fabum Rajasaurus had been captured by Luichpelt, the archivist lich, who has been working in the shadows rebuilding his army of automatons. And we will see what happens next. We just never know. We have to follow the dice. I want to pick up with where we left off last time, Luichpelt making some sort of offer to Fabum Rajasaurus. Now, we haven't spent a lot of time catching up with Fabum. She's just sort of been kind of bouncing around. But I'm curious about, I need to know some things, kind of where she's at from when we left her at the end of the Keyforge campaign, which for me was several years ago. But, you know, she is this arbitrator. She resolves disputes amongst various factions among the Crucible. But she was looking for love, looking for a romantic partner. And by the end of that season, she had met and seemed to be getting along with a silicate, a tiny rock creature by the name of Bech. I don't know how that turned out. Narratively, I would hope that it worked out for her, but I think I'd rather let the dice decide, because if it did not work out, that gives her a vulnerability for Luichpelt to exploit. So I am just going to leave it to chance. So we're going to ask our fate chart. Are Fabum and Bech still together? 85. No, they are not. Did not work out. And Fabum is left, as always, still looking for love. That helps me clarify the nature of Luichpelt's offer. And what is Luichpelt up for? Well, Luichpelt has been trapped here on the Crucible with the rest of the villagers and the crew. And Luichpelt is looking for the orbs of Raoria, which the party, Dragog in particular, currently has 3 of the 6 that exist. I don't know if Luichpelt knows about the third. He knows that Dragog has at least 2, but I don't know if he knows about the third. Luichpelt reaches out, a skeletal, bony hand in this cavern. Maybe there's like a little metal table. There are automatons everywhere. There's the sound of machinery as more automatons are being built. This lich and this Rajasaurus, this dinosaur, sit down at this table. And Luichpelt says, "You know, I am not an unreasonable lich. I can make deals. I can be worked with." I don't think Fabum knows who Luichpelt is at all. She may have heard about Luichpelt, but, she has no experience. "I'm looking for these orbs particular orbs, and I believe that you might be able to help me. He describes the orbs. Fabum has seen them, knows that Dragog and some of the other members of the village went on a quest to go find one of them. Yes, I know what you're talking about. And Luigi Pelt says, I need to know where they are. I would like them for myself. And in exchange, I'm willing to help you. And maybe he's done some spying, or he just knows he's maybe got some mind powers, but he knows what Fabum wants. Yes. Unlucky in love, are we? No problem. For a lich and an artificer to solve. I could make you the perfect lover, be it of metal or flesh or both, enchanted to meet your every need, your every desire, your every wish. All in exchange for a little bit of information, or depending on how willing you are able to help me, the orbs themselves. What do you say to this? Well, now Fabum has been working with these people, has been helping them out. I don't think she would feel like she wants to betray the location of these things that they've been working on, especially to this guy who's like a skeleton. But the offer is intriguing. And, there's all these automatons around. She doesn't feel like she's in like the best kind of situation. While Luigi Pelt's offer is intriguing, but a little creepy, Fabum's going to try to get out of here. Is going to try to use her Dream Ray gun to stun and confuse Luigi Pelt and get out of here. So make that a skill roll. Okay, that's an 8. So it's a success with some sort of complication. So she is able to stun, confuse Luigi Pelt, get up, but the automatons leap into action. What's she going to do there? She's pretty large. She's a dinosaur. I think she's going to try to sweep her tail around and knock some of the automatons out of the way and escape. Okay, 9. That's a success. Okay, just a straight up success. So she swings her tail. The automatons clatter against each other and against the wall, and she takes off down a tunnel back into apparently the sort of the underground areas where Luigi Pelt was hiding connect to these underground demon areas. So there's sort of a vast interconnected tunnel network underneath the village in this area. And so she is off, but by herself. We're going to head back to the rest of the party, who's still looking for that cache of amber. And we're going to roll our Die of Fate. That's our expected scene, and we'll see if anything modifies that. Okay, one with a blank is a new non-player character, a new NPC. Well, that's interesting. I mean, I can either draw from a Crucible card, or we can generate a totally new character. So 1 and 2, draw a Crucible card to be inspired. 3 and 4, roll up a totally new character. Okay. So 3. All right, so we're going to roll on this sentient species table. In the Crucible, it's a D20. Let's see what kind of... Okay, 2. An Aquan. My guess is that this Aquan, this fish person, has been captured by demons. That's my expectation. I'm going to say that's likely. Is that the case? If not, then there's some sort of explorer. All right. Have they been captured? 38? Yes. And what's their name? 33. End. 52. Key. End key. Just go ahead and draw something up real quick. They go down this tunnel, and there are maybe, chains on the walls, and most of them are empty, but they do find this fish person. Dragog immediately goes up, swings his astrolabe as a mace, breaks the chains, and they free this fish person, this Aquan. He says, "Oh, thank you so much. The demons, they eat the emotions. They eat them." I'm wondering, what kind of skill Endkey has. There's 3 different NPC tables here in between this, guys. I'm going to roll which one I'm going to roll on. I'm going to roll on the first one. right, let's see what the kind of job or role is. 62. A queen. I'm also just going to give her an extra skill to see if she has any particular abilities. 32. Sabotage. I am Queen Inki of the Aquan peoples. Queen of Sabotage. I was sent here to undermine the demon's operation, but my people were all killed and captured, and they were kept me chained to feast upon my suffering. But you have freed me, and so now I can help you. Dragog says, yes, we're looking for a cache of amber. Do you know anything about it? Does she? I'll make her do a skill roll. So on that partial success, she knows like a little bit about which direction it would be, but with Thorasha having been implanted here, they know a little bit more. And I think between those two, they know exactly where to go. So I'm just going to roll a D3 here to see like kind of like how many encounters we're going to have to do before we can get to this amber cache. 1. Okay, so we just have to get through 1 encounter. That's our expected scene. We're going to go do this 1 encounter and then get to the amber cache. Okay, expected scene. I'm going to draw one of these demon cards and see what sort of a thing we encounter and interpret it. Okay, this is Misery Exploit. We see a bunch of robots here being tormented by demons. There's lightning. This is basically what the demons do, right? What Indki was experiencing. They sort of discover this more of a chamber. Maybe there are some robots here. What's kind of the demon level here? What are we looking at here? I'm gonna ask our fate chart, like, are there a lot of demons here? And based on kind of the degree, it's gonna tell us, what we're looking at here. 8. Yes. Extreme yes. Lots and lots and lots of demons. They're all torturing. They all kind of look up, see this escaped prisoner, see these others, and are probably going to attack. So, first of all, who gets to move first? Us or them? 1, 2 is us. Okay. Indki is the queen of sabotage. So they are going to try to kind of sneak and set up some kind of trap for the demons to fall into. That's a 7, so that's a partial success. So maybe it takes them a little bit, but they are working on that. Okay, Thorada's going to use the sneaking blast, melt into the shadows, and blast some demons that way. That's a 7, partial success. So maybe it gets, just a few off, hitting in the shadows. Thorasha going to run up, stab some demons with some poison blades. Oh, that doesn't go well. And they're already kind of injured. So I think they are looking pretty beat up as they move up, but demon maybe kind of claws at them. All right, and then Dragog, again, is going to try to swing. And hits. That's a great success. Knocks out maybe a couple of these demons. So we've taken out a few of them, but we did say that there was a lot. Let's say maybe there were 10, and we've taken out maybe 2 of them. All right, the demons are going to act. I'm just going to do 1 roll and see how our folks do kind of in defending. I think there's just sort of generally attack. Thorada and Indki, I think, are kind of more hidden. So it's up to Dragog and Thorasha. So we are rolling to defend. We rolled an 8, partial success. So I think they're going for Thorasha, and Dragog kind of comes up and blocks with his astrolabe, but does take a little bit of a hit. Indki's trap is going to go off. So there's chains. Maybe she was trying to trip up the demon, so she was kind of setting up kind of trap that way. It ended up going off this time. Ooh, doesn't really work. The demons step over it, and as she pulls the chains tight, they just kind of leap over. Thorada gonna use the spinning islands again. Gonna kind of just fly through a mass of these demons. Oh, great, and that's an 11. That goes really well. Knocks off maybe 2 more demons as he just goes spinning through this crowd of demons. Thorasha, trying to poison some more demons. That's a 9. Great. Gets a couple They start to get poisoned, or, when one goes down. Great, so we've got maybe like half of the way through. All right, Dragog just going to be wailing with that Astrolabe. Great, 6, not so much. Takes a couple more hits. And is getting a little bit beat up. All right, now they're going to try to defend against the demons as the demons attack. Okay, great defense. They're all moving out of the way. They're slipping into the shadows. They're dodging. I'm wondering if Indki can maybe pull on some chains and try to collapse part of the cavern. Try to sabotage the cavern. 8, partial success. Collapses down, crushes one of the demons. I think we're down to like 4 now, maybe. But the complication is it blocks their exit. Thorada's sweeping through. 10, takes out another 2. These islands are spinning. Takes out a couple more demons. Dragog's going to try to smash some with the Astrolabe. Oh, takes another hit. Dragog's getting pretty beat up. Thawasha, Dragog helped them out, so they're going to help them. Try to stab some demons. Nope. Oof. I think with that last hit, Thawasha is really beat up. I think maybe just down for the count. They're going to try to defend themselves against some demons. Collectively, 9. Great. There's only 2 left. Inki's going to say, I think I can do another collapse. Just come this way. Okay. So Thorada's going to, spin through the remaining demons, trying to get to the exit. 10. Great. Yeah. Knocks out the last 2. They get to the exit. Dragog picks up Thawasha, who definitely needs some healing. Maybe Indki. Let's check for Indki. Does she know any just sort of basic, we'll call it likely. She sees a lot of action. She probably has a team. She maybe knows a minute, so we'll call it likely. 13. Oh, that's a strong yes. So yeah, not only that, she's quite a skilled healer. So she's able to get Thawasha back up and healed. Maybe she's got some sort of fishy, watery magic and heals Thawasha right up. All right, so they got through the chamber. They took out 10 demons. That went much better than the last fight. That was great. They said there was only going to be 1 encounter before they got to this amber cache. So they are there. That's our expected scene. We reach the amber cache. Okay, 5+. Increase of activity. Well, if the demons are collecting this amber, and that's the activity, the collection of this amber and storing it here, and there's been an increase of that more than we expected, then that means there's a lot more amber here than even we were expecting. Maybe enough to cover up the failures of the other 2 teams. I'm going to draw one more of these cards. See which one we get. Double Doom. There's a huge demon here and a whole bunch of imps. And there's sort of a platform, a dais, sort of a sacrificial chamber. It's looking bad, but all the amber is here. Here's what I'm thinking the plan is. Thorada, being a devotee of the Devourer, is going to try to do a ritual to summon the Devourer, who's been just hanging out underground this whole time, and they haven't really asked anything of the Devourer yet. Thorada's going to be doing a ritual, while the rest of them try to fend off the rest of these demons. I'm going to go ahead and roll a skill roll for Thorada to make progress on this ritual. Okay, 7. Partial success. Okay, so I'm going to summon the Devourer. Based on just what they're able to do in sort of the rocks, they start to kind of clear an area and get the ritual set up. Dragog is going to kind of run defense, run interference, try to hit some of these imps that are starting to swarm in. Okay, ooh, that's very bad. I think Dragog, already having taken some hits, goes down and gets swarmed by these imps. Inki, seeing this, is going to go up, try to heal Dragog, but fails, can't get to the imps that are swarming up around him. Thawasha, going to try to poison some of these imps with this poison knife. Okay, 4. Ooh, also getting overwhelmed, trying to push up these imps, but they're just closing in. There's just so many of them. I'm going to roll kind of like a defensive roll, kind of a collective defensive roll as this. Maybe 1 for the imps. So the imps are already sort of overwhelming them. But with an 8, the party is able to kind of keep them at bay for now. And then this big demon's going to come down, do something. but they're also able to defend against that. So is trying to, use these giant, what are they, scythes or something, giant sticks. Can't get through, these massive swarm of imps. Okay, Tharada's gonna do another ritual test. How do they do? 7. Okay, just another little bit more progress. Okay, so gets it started up. I think maybe one more partial success and they can finish it with the imps kind of swarming in. The rest of the party is doing their best to kind of keep them at bay. Tharada's only able to do so much, only starting to set up the components, whatever glyph or sigil that they're trying to carve into the rock. Enki again, going to try to heal up Dragog. Okay, 7 partial success. Okay, I think what that means is she can get to him. She can heal him up a little bit, but she's going to start taking some hits from these imps. All right, now that Dragog's up, I'm going to just try to sweep. A huge sweeping hit with the Astrolabe. Partial success. Okay, gets a few off. They're still coming in. Thawasha's trying to poison him. Oh, that's a great success. Okay, so Thawasha, I think, maybe takes like a whole bunch of little like poisoned throwing stars, throws them all out, and they start to hit the imps and start to poison them, and maybe they start to knock into others. So defending against the imps. Okay. Oh, they don't. Ooh, but as much as that did, the imps are just going to start to swarm over. They're doing their best to protect Tharada. The big demon's going to do something. Ooh. Who does that hit between these 3, the defenders? 1, 2, 3. 3. Oh, okay. So I think a big scythe comes down and knocks Thawasha out of the combat until they can be healed back up. It's looking bad. The imps are crawling in, crawling over. Tharada just needs one more partial success to summon the Devourer. 8. Okay. Whew. So I think they just need to make it one more round until the Devourer gets here. Okay, so Enki's going to go to try to heal Thawasha. Fails. Dragog's going to try to fight off these imps or get into place. Yep, okay, able to get into place, fight off some imps, defending against the imps. Nope, they're just totally overwhelmed, totally swarmed over. The big demon, also gets a hit in on one of these 3. 1, 2, 3. One on Tharada. Oh, big hit on Tharada. Tharada's down. Thawasha's down. And now this huge worm god burrows up from underneath the ground and just starts wailing. So the question is, I'm going to leave this up to a skill roll. Can the Devourer scoop up all the amber and this party and get out? Let's see. 8. Partial success. I think they can do one or the other. Tharada says, Go. Help the others escape. Take the amber and go. The ones who are up, Dragog and Enki, are able to get on the Devourer. The Devourer scoops up the amber, but they have to leave behind the injured to the demons. More than enough amber, and they head back to the village. Okay, so now I want to check expected scene. Can Fabum get out? Find her way out of the tunnels. Do our Die of Fate, expected scene. All right, we're going to do a skill test for trying to get out of the tunnels. 5, no, gets lost. Let's do an encounter for her. A Grim Reminder. We see a whole bunch of like statues here and a demon. I think what this means for Fabum is she stumbles into this room, lit with these torches. These statues she sees are all of her failed relationships, all of her failed romances. She's been looking for love, and it's just every time it just doesn't work out. It sort of feels this exquisite despair and hopelessness. I don't know really what this role is. I guess I just want to see how things go in this moment. Poorly. She is totally overcome with this emotion. The demon is definitely feeding on it. Yeah, she's wondering sort of what the point is. What's the point of all this struggle? I don't know what that means for her. I mean, eventually she'd probably try to move on, but I think it's going to be more difficult for her. Expected scene, moving on, moving out. Okay, that is the expected scene. All right, can she get out? Make another skill roll. 11. Okay. After that interlude, she is able to get out, but she is definitely carrying the weight of this heartbreak and loss with her. So we get back to the village, and all of these have sort of been running simultaneously. The expected scene is everybody reuniting. So just check our die of fate to see if something changes that or impacts that. 6+. Object increase. Kevda is here. Kristen is here. They've been kind of holding down the village in the time being. It's maybe been like a couple days as everyone's been going on these quests. Zamzis, Janshi, and Suvara kind of come crashing in. They bring this, the UFO, this flying saucer with this tentacle arm kind of trailing amber, kind of crashing in, brings in this, slight pile of amber. The Shadows team comes in looking bedraggled, beaten. They're kind of looking around and saying, oh, is this it? Is this all we've got? This is definitely not enough. Fabum shows up looking heartbroken, and they're like, where's the rest of the party? And she's like, I don't know. I got separated from them. I need some time alone. It's looking pretty bad. They definitely don't have enough. But then at the last minute, the Devourer comes bursting up through the ground, bringing Dragog Indi in this huge mouthful of amber, just pouring out. And then the object increase, I think, Kristen set up his little, restaurant, making cheese stuff. And I think maybe they've been able to raise a little bit of extra amber. There's maybe some sort of outlying communities that are starting to connect and integrate to the village. They were able to bring in a little bit more to help out. I mean, Fabum made it back, Dragog made it back, but they lost the other members of their team. Indki, the Queen of Sabotage, thanks Dragog for his help and is going to head back to her people. Viceroy Orionet comes out and says, very well. Even though you all did not succeed, together we do have enough amber to forge a key and open a vault. I promised that I would see if I could help you escape the Crucible, and perhaps I can. We'll take this amber and get it to the vault. But first, we'll have to get there. All right, and we will leave it there. Wow. So much fun. We've got our amber that we need to unlock the vault, which may contain a secret to escaping the Crucible. We'll see of all these people who's interested in going on that. Great. So thanks so much for following along. If you're enjoying this, please like, subscribe, and share. And until next time, keep hopping.